5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Hello, ladies. How are you? Jeannie, Rachel, is that right? Yes. How are you,
Wow.
ladies? Let me text Beth and ask her how I'm doing.
Oh.
She normally tells me.
Did not work today. I was very lazy and did nothing today.
Nothing?
Nothing.
You didn't even go to the beach.
I didn't. The weather is very warm, but it's very overcast. So no, I did not even go to the beach. I did go look at our house.
A little on the chilly side, but not really.
You guys.
How
It was
is
cool.
in Indiana?
Here. It was 45 when I left my house. And then by the time I got to her house, it was 40.
And welcome to 3 to Agree. All right, did you guys hear and welcome to 3 to Agree?
Yeah.
I just put that in there.
Well, that didn't take too long.
No, I mean I said it.
Oh.
I was like, oh, it's got to have that in there. It needs to be changed. Period. It's not very good. But I was like, let me just add that real quick, and so I said it. See,
That's
live
great.
editing.
That's awesome. I love it.
Ladies, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Good.
Can you believe 2023 is almost over?
Yeah, let me turn you guys up. You're really soft. Hold on. Now say something.
Something.
Oh,
Something.
there you go. That's better now. So what was you saying about the year being?
I said, can you believe 2023 is almost over?
I know. It's crazy. This year went fast.
It did go fast.
The older we get, the faster the years go. My dad used to say that all the time, and I never believed him. I believe him now.
Yeah. I mean, I was just sitting there talking to Beth. Just the last 2 weeks, it's like the minute I was off work, it's been nonstop every day. And she goes, "Yeah, it's just when you stay busy, and the older you get, the more busier it seems like you become. Time flies."
It does. And when your kids are older, it's even worse.
Yeah.
I mean, you still have all your kids there. My kids are here too, but like Caleb's, I haven't seen him in 2 days. He's been over at his friend's house with another friend. They've just been all hanging out there for 2 days. Josie, she's been at her friend's house for 2 days too.
Yeah. I tell you, it's well, here in a week, maybe we will have a quarter of it empty nest.
I know. Are you excited or sad? Or indifferent?
I'm excited for them. I'm also sad for them because reality is going to kick in. And I'm never home, so about them leaving the house or not, it's going to be the same for me. So I'm not really at the moment. I'm not really like sad that they're leaving the house. I know Beth is. Beth is pretty upset that they're leaving, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
Time to grow up.
That's right.
Fly away from the nest.
Fly away from the nest. Just don't fly away too far.
You mean like my siblings that live on the West Coast?
Wait, what?
My siblings flew the nest at, I think both of them were 18. Portland, Oregon, and California.
I never knew they went all the way out there.
Yeah. I don't think my brother ever came back home. My sister came back home for a short period of time, but then went right back.
That has to be hard.
You
It's
do
very-
have siblings around here though too, right?
Yes, my other sister still lives there.
Yeah. Yeah, here. Sorry, not there. I forgot you flew the nest too.
That's right. I waited till I was like, almost 40 to fly the nest, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So did you guys
But-
have a good Christmas?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I think it's always nice. It's always nice to be with family. It's yeah, I did. I enjoyed myself. And on top of it, I got to see Rachel. That's even
That's
better.
always nice, isn't it?
It is.
Rachel,
is.
how was your Christmas?
It was really good. It just flew by so freaking fast. It's like you do all the preparation and then the day comes and you blink and it's over. It's just sad to me. But then the next day I took down all my Christmas stuff except my tree and my nativity, but everything else is cleaned up. Oh, and my candles in my windows, they're still up. But everything else I took down. And then do you guys go after Christmas shopping? Probably not, Kurt, but Jeannie, do you go after Christmas shopping to get like your wrapping paper and stuff for the next year?
We used to, but since we're living in the small house, we don't really do a whole lot because we don't have a lot of space to put stuff. But yes, in the past, yes, we have gone shopping after Christmas to try and get some Christmas decorations and Christmas deals for the following year.
Yep. Okay. So Beth and I and the girls went the day after Christmas. We went to Florence, which wasn't actually as bad as I thought. I thought it would be really crowded, but it wasn't too bad. And then yesterday, I had to take something back from my mom to Meijer. And then she had Kohl's cash, which she wasn't going to use. So she's like, you go ahead and use it if you take the stuff back for me. And I'm like, oh, great. How's that going to go? So I go up to Kohl's. Now, Kohl's is a madhouse. Obviously, it's always a madhouse. I think everybody was using their Kohl's cash. But I'm driving around looking for a parking spot. And do you ever, those people that drive through the parking lot instead of like on the assigned part of the parking lot you're supposed to drive?
Yeah, and the majority of the people out there.
They just drive diagonal.
Yes. So I'm sitting there going down one of the lanes, and all of a sudden, somebody comes from the side and just literally goes in front of me, like right through the parking lot, like he's driving on the parking spaces. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yep.
And he's not looking, not paying any attention, just completely like nobody else is there, and the freaking place is packed.
Mm.
And I go over to Meijer, and that's where I had to return her stuff. So I'm in line to return. You would not believe what this lady did. I was going to kill her. Not literally people, but I was going to hurt her. She decided to bring all of her family's scratch-offs that won at Christmas. Because at Meijer, the customer service part is where you do the scratch-offs too. Okay? Not a big deal. Okay, you're turning in your scratch-offs. But no, she didn't scratch any of the part off where the lady has to scan. So she has like 30 scratch-offs there. And the lady behind the counter had to scratch them all off so she could put them in the system with like 10 people standing in line behind this woman.
Jeez.
Yeah. So then the lady scratches every single one off. And I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe this. And then the woman's like, oh, you need more help back here. And the lady's like, well, in about 15 minutes, I'll be getting some help. And I'm like, oh my God. And she wouldn't even help her scratch them off. This poor girl back there was trying to scratch as fast as she can because the line's getting longer and longer and longer. And I'm like, oh my God. Then she scratches them off, pays because she's like, do you want it in cash? And she's like, yeah, I want it in cash. So she gives the lady cash. Then the lady turns around and buys $20 worth of scratch offs, like of number 15 or whatever. And I'm like, that's what she meant. She meant, do you want more scratch offs or do you want the cash? But she got the cash and then turned around and bought more scratch offs.
I think the lady sounds like she may have been a little bit challenged.
Oh my God. I was like, what is wrong with people? I mean, there's your
Uh,
sign.
Sounds like that lady was challenging everybody else that in that minute.
Yeah.
We even had people leave the line. That's how long we were standing there. And then I'm sitting there like, this doesn't have to be returned today. I could just leave. And then I was like, no, I'm here. I'm just going to wait it out, find my inner patience.
Well, to add to that story, prior to you and Beth going out, Beth told me the night before, she goes, I'm going to go to Walmart and look for some wrapping paper on sale, but I'm not going to be long. I'm just going to go down there and come back. And I'm like, okay. And then she told me, I think the next morning or maybe that night, I can't remember when it was, but she goes, yeah, Rachel was going to go too, and Josie. And I'm like, oh, that'll be cool. And she goes, yeah. So you all left, and I'm waiting and waiting and waiting. And 6 hours later, she decides to come back in. At her, and I'm like, I've never met anybody to spend that long in Walmart. And then it's, well, and I'm like, oh, here we go. Since I've been home, I've been kind of attached to her because I don't get to see her a lot. So there's times I'm like, hey, can you turn off your phone?
Kurt, you should have come with us.
I was going to say, you could have joined them for their shopping extravaganza.
Well, I do appreciate that, but that's the last place Beth wants me to be. So
We had fun though.
yeah, I bet. But I thought that was funny. I gave her a hard time about it. I didn't care, of course, but I knew what happened, but I was just giving her a hard time about it. But yeah. So Janie.
Yes.
What's going on with you? We're talking about, we haven't heard anything about you besides your siblings being on the other side of the world.
I know. Well, I will say for the shopping extravaganza, it is different down here, I guess, because we live more in like a resort town. I'm used to what Rachel described as everything is super crowded and you just anticipate crowds and crowds of people and parking lots being full. And it's just different down here. It's not overwhelmingly crowded before Christmas or after Christmas. None of the stores. Now our Walmart's busier. You can't get a cart, but there's plenty of parking and the stores are not, there's not lines wrapped around the store. The only time you have lines wrapped around the store here is in June and July when the tourists come down to go to the grocery store. You can't go to the grocery store on a Friday or Saturday when they get into town because then you do have lines to the back of the store. So it's a little bit different experience than I'm used to because I'm used to being at the mall where it can take you 30 minutes just to get into the parking lot. And it's not like that here. So
yeah,
it's a different
I
way.
actually work with a lady that she used to have a house down in Florida and then one here. So like in the winter, her and her husband would go down to Florida. Well, they sold that house because he's getting dementia. So they had to sell it. But she still goes to Florida every November to do her Christmas shopping because she hates Christmas shopping up here.
Yeah. It's just vastly different. It's just different from, and again, I'm used to what I'm used to at home. And this is just a different place, different priorities, different, I guess, I don't know.
Well, one of the things I just can't get used to is, and this might be everywhere, I don't know, or maybe it's just here, but it's like people have zero respect. I mean, when you're shopping, I couldn't tell you how many times, you're standing in a long line and some couple comes up and they just cut in front of everybody, or, there's just zero respect. It's almost like road rage in a store. There's just there's no respect.
But haven't you noticed that the stores actually the last couple of years haven't been as busy because a lot of people buy on Amazon now or they buy online?
Yes. I remember the day when Black Friday shopping, people got killed
Yeah.
in stores.
Not like that anymore.
Or they put a stop to that, which is cool. I mean, I'm glad that, people, the stores and whoever was part of that, kind of restrict hours and restrict how they were doing Black Friday shopping. And I mean, I remember the day sitting out of Walmart, and when you walk in the door, they put a 60-inch flat screen TV for $49.99, and there's two skids of them. And when the doors open, people are literally walking over people, pushing people out of wheelchairs, elbowing people, and fighting over these TVs. And it's like, that is crazy. That's like throwing a bunch of hungry dogs in a cage.
I remember one time, my friend Karen and I went to Meijer at it was like 3 a.m. And we're like, oh, we're doing good. We're starting at 3 a.m. And we walk into Meijer, and there is a line of people sitting on the floor with the stuff they were going to buy. And they had been sitting there for since the day before.
Yeah.
They were sitting on the floor with their TVs and all that stuff, waiting till they would check them out, because they weren't allowed to check out until a certain time.
That's crazy.
And I used to work at Macy's, and I would always work the day after Thanksgiving, so Black Friday. And I would which opening was probably about 6 a.m. back then. And we always had free gifts. If you're like the first 100 people in the store, you would get some kind of free gift from Macy's. I don't even remember what the gift was. People were lined up because we would have to come in at like 5:15 or 5:30. And some people had been there all night for this free gift that probably wasn't worth anything.
That sounds about right.
I mean, if I can't remember what it was, it couldn't have been that good.
Oh, man.
The times have changed.
They have changed.
They have. So before, when we were kind of like off the air, kind of, I guess you can say it that way. This is not really a radio station, but we were talking about Beth and I having a date night, and we went out and went to Red Lobster and chow down. And by the way, what I didn't say is that I had all you can eat shrimp.
Oh.
And it was very shrimpy. It was very good, actually. And I don't know what Beth had, but she had a lot of food too. But anyway, we had a good time. But Janie, you was telling us about your date night, and I brought up, said, when we are actually on the air, I'm going to bring this up. So you mind telling us our wonderful guest listeners out there what you and your husband did on a date night?
No, that's not what we were talking about.
We're talking about what we're going to do for New Year's Eve tomorrow.
Yes.
So on that note is and obviously I don't listen very well. So I do apologize to the fans and apologize to Rachel and Jane about that. So anyway, date night. No, what are we talking about? New Year's Eve?
Yes.
What everybody's plans are for New Year's Eve tomorrow.
Oh, I thought you already went, but you're not going to go. You are going. Okay, gotcha.
Both.
What?
Both occur, but yes.
All right, cool. So go ahead.
So I'll give a backstory of I don't like to pay a lot of money to go do things on New Year's Eve. And if you've ever made a reservation at a restaurant or anything that's advertised, it's usually $50 to $100 per person. You go, it's overcrowded. I don't like any of that stuff. I don't like to have to make a reservation, and I don't like to have to pay the money that people want to hang out on New Year's Eve, because it's usually not that great. So the strip club that's here, they have a $20 cover. They have a cover band. It's a Kid Rock cover band and free champagne. And I don't have to make a reservation. So it sounds like a win-win to me. You can go at any time, free champagne, you get to hear a band, and I only have to pay $20 to get in.
All right. So I have questions.
Yes.
Can I ask?
You can ask many questions. And yes, we've been to this strip club before on date nights. And it's, I don't know. The drinks are kind of expensive, but generally the music's good and people are nice and it's a place to go.
All right. So I don't go to strip clubs. Now I'm not going to say I've never been, my bachelor party. I ended up going to a strip club. That was 26 years ago, something like that. And I ended up the girl that was dancing on the stage ended up running off the stage, and here comes bouncers and asking me what I done, and I'm like, I didn't do anything. And here it ended up being my ex-girlfriend's little sister. So that is the experience that I had. It was very, very uncomfortable. Really didn't want to go anyway, but needless to say, so I'm not very educated in that market. So anyway, so the question that I have is sanitary. Is that a word?
Yes.
Okay. I mean, naked people dancing in front of food. I mean, that just doesn't sound like, I mean,
The way you
Uh,
say it makes it sound like there's like a buffet and they stand behind it and dance, which is not the case.
oh,
There's a
okay, good.
kitchen.
Okay.
That's
And I
a-
think the people in the kitchen are closed. I don't know. I haven't been in the kitchen.
So you don't eat off of them or anything like that. It's
No,
just
no.
oh.
This particular strip club is like they have poles that are 2 stories tall. So it's like
Geez.
naked acrobats. I mean, these ladies are amazing at what they can do, and they just happen to be topless while they do it. But it's almost like a Cirque du Soleil, except they're naked.
Okay.
Just the top
Alright.
half is naked.
Just the top half.
Top half. Okay. Now is that a again, I'm very uneducated here. That's why I'm asking
You
questions.
sound like you might be a little tongue-tied.
Well, I am, because I got to be careful what I say, because yeah. But is it very like is that a state law where it's only topless there, or is that just how that place is?
I believe it's a state law, but I have absolutely no idea.
Okay. All right, because I'm sure they have laws with that. But interesting. You and your husband are going to a strip club and you're going to eat hot dogs while you're looking at girls dance.
I would not eat hot dogs, but I mean, I'm sure that my husband would if that's what they're serving. But yeah,
Is-
I don't know what they're going to be serving. I just know they have a band that's a cover band.
Oh, that's right. They got the Kid Rock, which that sounds pretty cool, actually.
Yeah.
The cover band, that'll be cool. But if I was a stripper, which by the way, I do not have the body type of a stripper by all means. And I don't really think a 2-story pole would hold my weight. But anyway, I would be kind of not want to be dancing on that day, because don't they get tips?
Yes. Yes.
So everybody will be concentrating on their hot dogs on the plate and the band playing, and they won't even. Or is it just the opposite? Will the band get upset because no one's watching the band because everybody's watching the strippers? That's just interesting.
I really don't think those girls are going to have any issues with people not watching them.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
And they do a pretty good job of, after their show or their performance, that they walk around the audience and talk to people, mainly because they are trying to get tips.
So they mingle.
They
Okay.
mingle, yes.
Topless?
very-
They mingle topless?
No, I want to say they had clothes on the last time we were there. So they were topless while they were on the stage, but then when they came out into the audience, they seemed they had a top on.
Hmm.
Is it one of them things where they come up and say, "Hi, I'm Diamond Rose. You want to buy me a drink?" Sure. And the drink comes back as like $50.
So I haven't had that, but they do come up and introduce themselves and just, did you like the performance, whatever. The one girl actually has a pole dancing class. So one of the dancers was trying to recruit people to come to her class and pay money to join her gym in order to learn pole dancing. So she had a different angle when she was walking around the audience to talk to people.
Is that something you'd like to do?
Love to do it. They've had a bunch of legal issues with getting her gym, as she calls it, open. So it still hasn't opened yet.
Oh, I think it would be fun to learn. I mean, for fun, for exercise, I guess.
Yes, it would give that very
Be
good
cool.
physique, because that's a lot of work to be able to do all that.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, maybe I should try pole dancing. Maybe I'll lose
right.
some weight. Yeah. I don't know. I'll probably be the only 240-pound guy, old guy, dancing on a pole there. But hey, what the heck? But I think that is kind of cool that there's classes out there. That's pretty cool.
So what are your guys' plans for New Year's? Since we've talked about my non-traditional plans.
My, as everybody probably figured out, is not a strip club. But Rachel and I are going to be spending New Year's Eve and early morning together this year. I think. Are we?
Huh?
Are you coming over our house?
Yes. Early morning.
Well, yeah, because when we sit there and we do a countdown,
Okay.
and
You had me
then
confused because you said New Year's Eve early morning, so I'm thinking like
oh wow,
tomorrow morning.
okay, gotcha. Yeah, so I mean, it's normally like in our house we have a good time. We play a lot of board games and
We
well, at least I think.
drink, we play games, we eat.
And then all of a sudden, the countdown happens. We all stand up and we go, "Happy New Year!" And everybody gives hugs, and they're like, "Okay, get out of here.
Yep.
See us."
That's exactly what happens.
And then at 12:15, Beth and I are sitting there looking at each other, and everybody's out of the house.
No, Beth is ready for bed.
Yeah, I know. Beth is ready.
She
for bed.
literally can barely make it sometimes.
Oh yeah. I'm actually was thinking about that last night because we're playing board games, and it was like 9:30, and I'm yawning, and Carol looks at me. She goes, "How are you going to make it on New Year's Eve?" And I'm like, "Oh, you're right." Now I started thinking like, "Oh gosh, what can I do to make sure that I stay up?"
I'm right there with you.
It'll be nap. All of us old people will have to take a nap during the day to make it.
Yep.
Well, I remember one year we had a party, and I was so tired, and everyone was having such a good time that I went back, laid in bed for like 20 minutes and closed my eyes and got back up and went out, and no one even knew I was gone.
Well,
Life of the party there.
You don't always play games either.
I'm trying to, but I'm just not.
It, though we had a lot of fun on Christmas.
We did. It was fun. It all depends on what the game is. Most of the games I'm not a big fan of, but
Well, I know that one game that we played that one time where you had to pick there was like a something that happens. Just say like who would be the one to rob a bank out of the people sitting there, and then like everybody voted. Do you remember that game?
I do.
And that person got the card, but you didn't want the card because you didn't want it at the end. Whoever had the most cards lost.
Yes. So
and everybody was picking you for everything, and you got mad and you left.
Yeah, I know. I was like, "Geez, old Pete, are you kidding?" Well, it was funny because we have a game like similar to that now.
You do?
Yeah, but you have to point your finger at the person.
Mm.
And we played that last night. It's a brand new game we got, and we also have another one. I think it's called "How Old Are You?" or "Are You Old?" or something like that. And it's basically saying, if you, dialed a landline or something like that, and if you say, "Yeah, I've done that," you got to move up a spot.
Oh.
And then you have a redeem question. It's like, have you posted something on TikTok? Yeah, okay. And then you move down one.
Okay.
So it's 1 through 10, and whoever gets to 10 loses. And we played that last night, and we played like 3 rounds, and Beth lost every round. So, but yeah, so we got a couple new games we're going to be playing over here. It'll be fun.
Great. Can't wait.
So Janie, come on over.
I know. It will only take me 12 to 13 hours to get there. I'll start driving now.
I mean, if you want, I won't do this for everybody, but for you, I would. If you want, I'll start practicing my pole moves.
Well, Jeannie, guess what else? There's no cover.
There we go.
There was alcohol there.
I don't have to
Yeah.
make a reservation.
No reservations.
No reservation. And you get to see me dancing on a pole.
Yes.
Topless.
You could just stay the night there and they wouldn't even charge you for that either.
I
That's
won't
true.
even charge.
That's true. You did
Come
just
on up.
refinish your downstairs, so
That's right. Yep. That's right.
I know.
I got a futon down here, and right currently now the dog's sleeping on it, but yeah, I got a futon there, so
Just
we're all
move the
good.
dog over. There's plenty of room.
Plenty.
Yeah, that does sound right up my alley. I don't know about all the games. I'm not good at the games, but you know.
It doesn't. You don't have to be
Yeah.
good at them, and when you're drinking, it doesn't matter. It's just fun anyway.
That's right. That's right. Cool. All right. So, what are we talking about today?
We're gonna do a recap of 2023 with like events that happened in the world, and then we have to decide what our favorite podcast was. We're gonna announce that of 2023.
Okay. Well, I'm going to just come out and say the truth. That way everybody knows that I am very, very unprepared for this podcast.
Yeah, they probably already know. You don't have to say that.
Yeah, because I was literally sound asleep when my phone was going ging, 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 off this
Were you
morning.
really?
Yeah.
I thought
Saying,
you'd be up.
oh no, today was my sleeping day. And saying, hey, you want to do a podcast, before, New Year's? And
Well, we're supposed to do a podcast before New Year's.
well, I thought we were going to do it on Sunday
Why?
because we always do it on Sundays.
What? But tomorrow's New Year's Eve.
I know, but I just thought we were going to do it on Sunday. I thought it was Sunday.
We could have. That's why I was asking.
Yeah. So I was very, very unprepared. I had another day and a half to prepare. So,
It's fine.
but that's okay. I do apologize. You guys can fire me if you want.
I think it'll be all right.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm not very prepared either, so we'll see.
Okay. All right. So in that case, we're going to turn it over to Rachel, which is always prepared.
What? I really am
So-
prepared.
You always are prepared.
I am. I'm sorry. Okay. So this is what I found. Some things that happened in 2023. And these are in no particular order, everyone, because I just started writing things down that I found. All right. So Damar Hamlin, remember that?
Yes.
Scary on the field collapse at Cincinnati.
Just want to say UC Medical stepped up and they stepped in and they are awesome as always.
Yep.
They saved that guy's life. And now he's back out there. Which I don't know if I would be, but
Takes a big hit to your paycheck if you're not back out there working.
very true. All right. Another thing I found was, do you guys remember that huge train derailment in East Palestine, Ohio?
Yes.
So yeah, and it
Yep.
released all those toxic chemicals into the air. Did you guys ever hear what the cause was of that derailment?
If I did, I don't remember.
I guess I just kind of stopped following it after a while, but I actually found out that it was later found that an overheating bearing on one of the rail cars was the likely cause.
Wow.
Yeah, I didn't realize that's what caused it. And I didn't even think that could cause such a big thing,
At least it wasn't caused by, not necessarily human error, but a human doing something stupid.
Sure. Yeah, true. Another thing I found was the smoke from the Canadian wildfires.
Yep.
So yeah, so all those wildfires, the wind shift, I guess, had pushed a bunch of the unhealthy air throughout Western Pennsylvania. But I was walking on the levee in Lawrenceburg one day with one of my clients, and I was like, what in the heck is that? Where is that smoke coming from? Like you could smell smoke, and there was a haze above the river, above the Ohio River.
Yeah, that was bad.
And I had no idea that that's what it was. I was like, because I just thought it was weird. I'm like, where is it coming from? Like, it smells like smoke. You can see the haze. What is that? Then I found out that it was from those Canadian wildfires because there was another shift in the wind, I guess. But that was crazy.
What else you got?
I'm down there in Lawrenceburg, Indiana, and I can smell a fire from Canada.
Canada.
This is insane. I was shocked. Did you guys hear that oh God, what's her name? Gypsy Lee Blanchard got out of prison yesterday or the day before?
Sure did, because that was down here in South Carolina, wasn't it?
I think it was.
Yeah.
Yep.
So do you have a feeling about that? Or did you guys even know what was there a documentary? Because I think I watched it.
Yeah. I'm actually it's not okay to kill. Number one, it's not okay to kill, and I do think you need to do time for it. But that poor girl, she's been through a lot, caused by her mother, and I'm not saying it's okay to kill your mom for doing that, but she's done her time, and now she's going out in the real world, and we'll see what she does. Yeah, she does seem a little weird to me. But that's probably because of what she dealt with her whole life with her mom. But we'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Munchausen by proxy is real.
Yeah. But did you like her boyfriend that I guess he did the killing, right?
I don't know who did the killing. The news made it sound like she did the killing, but she was manipulated by the boyfriend who made the plan. But I don't know
really?
I don't know if that's true.
Yeah, I read so many different things too. I don't know what's true either, but he got life in prison.
Yeah, he's still in prison.
I don't know. I'm a little shocked about that. But he's saying that she manipulated him and she said he manipulated her. And I guess she got a 10-year sentence, but got out in 5 years, and he's got life in prison.
Mental health is very important, and that's why it should remain the forefront of trying to help people before they get to this point. But it's a bizarre story all around.
Yeah, and then there was this is I know the mom, what's that called? You just said it.
Munchausen by proxy.
Okay. So there was actually another case where a mom kept saying something was wrong with her child, but she would take him to the hospital. The hospital couldn't find anything, but she kept telling him something's wrong, something's wrong, something's wrong, something's wrong. She kept taking him to all these doctors and hospitals, and they were like, no. Well, then they actually accused her of that, this mother.
Mm-hmm.
And the mom's like, no, that's not what this is. It ended up that I guess the hospitals and stuff banned her from bringing that child in for things. I can't remember the whole entire story, but she ended up committing suicide so that her daughter or son, I can't even remember if it was boy or girl, could actually.
I watched that documentary. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yes.
Yes.
And there was really something wrong with that child, though, wasn't there?
There was really something wrong with the child. It was a pain disorder. The child was in pain, and the medication she needed the dose was too great for most doctors in the United States. They didn't feel a child needed that great of a dose. And so there was another doctor outside the country that was willing to treat her and give her the dose she needed. But yes, mom ended up committing suicide. Daughter's thriving.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's really sad, though.
Yeah.
So it's so hard to decipher what is that and what is not that, The other one, Rihanna revealed baby number 2 during her Super Bowl halftime show.
Woohoo!
That made the news. That was like a big event of 2023.
Oh, yeah.
Did you guys watch it?
No, I mean, I watched whatever clips were on, but
Kurt?
Absolutely not.
I actually did watch it. I watched her show. I didn't realize what was going on, but because I really wasn't paying that much attention. But then afterward, everybody was like, "Oh my God, she's pregnant!" And I'm like, "What?" And then I rewatched it. I'm like, "Oh, okay,
I see it now. I can see it.
yeah, makes sense." Um, so the Brian Koberger update for 2023. He was supposed to have his trial on December 28th. Did you know that, Kurt?
I did not.
I didn't either. It was supposed to be in October. Then they moved it to December 28th, and now it's supposed to be the summer of 2024. But
And is he out just walking free while they keep pushing the trial date?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I think he's in a prison somewhere. But apparently, which I don't know how all this stuff works, but when they, you know how they say, "Do you plead guilty or not guilty?"
Yes.
And then they'd say, "Okay, I'm pleading guilty." Him and his lawyer stayed silent, which apparently means something. And then I guess something about they asked for a speedy trial and he waived his right to a speedy trial. He doesn't want a speedy trial. So
No,
that's
'cause he
why they
wants
had
to
to push
drag it
back.
out.
Yeah. His lawyer says that they don't have all their stuff ready to present for their side of the case yet. They're still working on things. But the whole silence thing, I didn't understand how you can just sit there and be silent and not plead one way or another.
Yeah, I didn't know that was an option either.
Yeah, that caught me off guard. I'm like, maybe I should do some research into that. Like, what does that even mean? Because he is a criminal justice person. He knows something. I don't know what it means.
If we have any lawyers that are listeners out there, could you please comment on Facebook to let us know what that means? We'd appreciate it. There you go, Rachel. Maybe someone will post.
Thank you. Thank you, Kurt.
No problem.
All right. And one of the biggest debates, this one's funny, of 2023 was, do you say gym shoes, tennis shoes, or sneakers, or something else? So apparently this was a humongous debate.
That was the biggest debate. I missed that one.
It wasn't a biggest, but it was, I guess it was one of, I don't know. I found it on one of the sites. They were like, one of the biggest debates for 2023. Do you say gym shoes, tennis shoes, or sneakers, or something else?
All right, Rachel, what do you call them?
I say gym shoes.
Kurt?
I call them whatchamajiggers. Nah, I call them gym shoes.
I call them gym shoes as well.
Okay, well, we are not in the majority.
So what was the majority? What did they call them?
Tennis shoes.
But
Which I
we're not
call
playing
them tennis shoes. I think that's what people were saying. Like, so for tennis shoes, people were like, but tennis, you're not playing tennis, so it makes no sense. Like, that makes zero sense. And then the other people were like, well, why would you call them sneakers? Are you sneaking around in them? Like, that makes no sense. And then for gym shoes, they're like, well, are you just going to be like on a gym floor? Like, that don't make any sense either. I'm like, I never really thought about that. What else could you call them, though? There were other people saying stuff, but I can't remember what it was.
Like my kids call them by the name of the shoe. So either, All Stars or Hoka's or On Cloud, Nikes.
Yeah. I think my kids pretty much do that too.
But I think do you think we all call them gym shoes because we had to go put our gym shoes on to go to gym class? That's what I think of.
I don't know. I think it depends on what area you kind of grew up in. Because down south, I think it was people call them tennis shoes. But then like the eastern part of the US, people were calling them sneakers. I don't know about the western because I didn't see that listed. But I guess, I don't know. It's so weird. Like, it's just something you don't sit there and think about. But I've always called them gym shoes. But we were on the way down majority. Like there was not a lot of people. It was more going back and forth from the tennis shoes to the sneakers.
Huh. I could see how that would be a big debate because clearly we all call them the same thing, but the rest of the world doesn't.
Yeah. And none of them really make sense.
No.
So yeah, but that was a big one of the big debates, probably on Facebook or something. I don't know. Sorry, had to let my cat out. Okay.
Meow.
So I looked up the deaths of 2023, which are really sad. But Lisa Marie Presley. I forgot about some of these. Lisa Marie Presley was only 54 years old. Do you know how she passed?
I don't remember.
Drugs.
I didn't remember either. No, it said complications from a weight loss surgery.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know either. I didn't know. Harry Belafonte.
Elefante.
Yeah, him. He was 96.
He had the song Dale. He said day. He said day. Correct?
I like
I
that
think.
song.
I don't know. Don't quote me on that.
I don't know, but I like that song. Sinead O'Connor, she was 56. And her cause of death has never been released. But I found out that in 2017, she had told Dr. Phil that she had attempted suicide no less than 8 times in 1 year. So I'm thinking hers probably a suicide, but it's never been released.
Back to your Harry Belafonte. Yes. Deo, the Banana Boat song, 1956.
Oh, it's a good song. Tina Turner, she was 83. Raquel Welch, she was 82. Jimmy Buffett, 76. Jerry Springer, he was 79.
Cincinnati native.
Yes. And then Matthew Perry, of course, was only 54. He died of a ketamine overdose. So we lost a lot of good ones this year.
Lots of musicians.
Yes.
Musical artists.
Yeah. So that's all I have for that. Do you guys want to move on to your favorite podcast?
The only other thing that I wanted to bring up was I think that don't forget the spy balloon. We had the spy balloon.
Oh, I didn't even read anything about that when I was doing research.
That's all hush hush now. We don't talk about it, but
it's probably all deleted off the internet.
And I think it was the hottest summer on record.
Really?
Across the US. It was super hot.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
I that's what I remember hearing. But again, I have nothing to back that up. So if anybody wants to rebuttal me, just go ahead and let us know.
Do we have any weathermen listening? If so, email us.
That's right.
So what was your favorite podcast that we did in 2023?
Oops, wrong button. My bad. All right. What is yours, Rachel?
I actually have 3 of them that I actually really enjoyed. I shouldn't say enjoyed. 2 of them really, really bothered me, and I got so invested in them. Actually, one of them I'm still very invested in, that I couldn't stop thinking about it and researching. But the one, of course, is the Idaho 4. Just because I just can't believe it, I guess. And it's nuts. The other one was the Girl Scout murders. That one really freaking bothered me. Still does. I still think about it and it just bothers me. And the one that I liked researching for and I thought was really, really interesting and I found a lot of interesting facts was the Hotel Secrets.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, I know. Okay. Yeah. When you were talking about the different things.
Yeah, because I found some interesting facts.
Yeah.
I didn't even know. What about you guys?
My favorite podcast was the Wilkinsons.
We called it something else. What did we call it? Inbred
Inbred family.
family. Yeah. Yeah, you are invested in that one. You send us stuff still.
Oh my gosh. I follow them today. And I mean, that last video I sent you of them going shopping through Walmart.
I know. That does make my heart happy though.
But they look like they were going to an amusement park. You see how happy they were?
They get so excited.
Yeah. Yeah.
But then I read at the bottom of that thing that one of them died. But then I look into it and I'm like, there's nothing. There's not an obituary. There's nothing. So I think it was just like I don't know, click this. Like clickbait. Yeah, it's clickbait.
Clickbait.
Which is a lot of out there.
Yeah.
Of course, my favorite 3 to Agree podcast was the one that we didn't get to air where we talked about all of the tattoos. So I got to be your first, not your first guest speaker, but it was my first time being a guest speaker.
Yeah, I know.
Back
we
up
need
the truck. What?
I need it. What did you say? Back up the truck.
Back up the truck.
Oh, the truck.
Beep, beep, beep. What'd you say? One that we did tattoos.
Yeah.
Didn't we? We aired the tattoo one.
Yeah.
You did.
The one we didn't air was the marijuana one.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
Which we have to redo because it's lost somewhere in space.
It's in cyber world. That was my favorite one just because it was my first time being a guest speaker on your podcast.
Well, marijuana always is interesting.
Yeah.
It's an interesting subject. People have mixed feelings about it.
That's right.
But then I also like the one about tattoos because we talked a lot about tattoos, and it seems everybody has meanings behind their tattoos except for me.
Yeah,
that was a good one.
Yeah, that was pretty good. Well, good.
And we are at an hour. Look at that.
Yeah, I know, right there. It literally just clicked over to an hour.
So do you guys have any New Year's resolutions as we wrap up our 2023 podcast?
I don't know.
I don't even think about it. Probably. No, I don't.
I mean, mine's usually the same thing every year, and it's like, okay, I'm going to exercise more. I'm going to eat better, but I do eat really well. I probably could exercise more, even though I try to get 10,000 steps a day, but I probably need to do more. So I'm going to
work out all the time. You're very healthy.
Well, I try, but I think I could do better. What about you?
Yeah.
I don't typically do New Year's resolutions just because I can't stick to them. But much like you, it's just work harder, exercise. Mine is always to actually physically work less at my job and try and be more vested in my family.
Oh, that's good.
I use my job as an escape to be like, oh, I'm busy. I can't do anything with my family, and I need to do less of that and be more involved in my family.
Well, I think with your exercise, you are at Planet Fitness a lot because I see it on Facebook.
I am, but I need to work harder while I'm there.
What do you mean? You said don't you do the stair stepper like 45 minutes or something?
I've split it between the elliptical and the stair stepper, and then I either do the rowing machine or the bike.
I mean, that's a lot.
It's not enough.
Okay.
My body clearly says it's not enough, or I need to sew my mouth shut, so I can't eat.
Well, that's where it is. You got to change your eating habits too, and that it kind of coincides with, exercising and eating better. And that's why it's what I say every year. I'm going to exercise and eat better. And I have trained myself to eat way better than I used to. but the exercise part, I think I could do more.
And Kurt, what are you doing? Are you doing both of those?
Yeah. I don't know. I haven't. I mean, exercise. I mean, I kind of do that anyway, but I do like a lot of walking, a lot of. I can't run really because my knees are bad. I can, but I pay for it. But anyway, needless to say, you know, this winter I have a gym membership, so winters I do go to the gym, and I try to go 3 days a week.
Do you go to Planet Fitness?
I do.
Do you have a black card?
I do. You want to go?
Yeah.
All right, we'll go. You tell me. I like to go in the mornings, so early in the mornings. So whenever you want to go, let me know, and I'll be more than glad.
How long
to
are
go.
you here?
Until the end of the podcast.
I was going to say, and he leaves.
Yeah.
I'm hanging up and coming over we're going to go to Planet Fitness.
No, I am leaving in the afternoon on the 2nd.
Oh, we don't have much time.
No, but I'll be home on the weekends though.
Oh, okay. Good deal.
So we can still go on the weekends.
Okay.
So yeah.
All right. Well, lots of New Year's resolutions as we close out 2023. An all new podcast as we start in 2024. We've got to get some good stuff on the docket to talk about for 2024.
Yeah, we got to get some videos in too so people can see our beautiful faces.
Yes. And if anybody has some podcasting ideas or just wants something you want us to hear us to talk more about or stop talking about or whatever, just send us a message. We would love to hear from you. And we're here for you guys. That's what we're here for. So if there's anything that we can do for you guys, let us know. And we are definitely looking forward to 2024. Is that right, ladies?
That's right.
Yep, 100%.
All right. So that being said, I think, if I'm not mistaken, this is the end of the 2023 podcast season. Ladies, I do appreciate you being on and sharing your stories like always. And to everybody out there, don't forget us, 3toagree@gmail.com. We are on Facebook. We're on YouTube. We're on, let's just say, social media. Just look for us on all social media platforms. We should be there. We also, our podcasts are also, we don't talk enough about this, but they're also on all the platforms. So iHeartRadio, stuff like that. What is that? Whatever, Spotify. We're on them platforms as well. So look at us on there. But until then, we will see everybody in 2024. Have a safe and wonderful New Year's, and we greatly appreciate everybody. Thanks, ladies.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
All right, bye-bye.